All right, welcome out to another episode of the Pirates Cove podcast. This is episode 102, and we've got a busy night. We got a couple of guests coming on. We got about three guests that'll be coming on, so we'll be on probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours today. Something that's going to be a little longer than usual. But I got my first guest on here, the screen. We've got Rockport-Fulton Pirates golf coach Harold Busack. Coach Busack, how you doing this evening?
Good evening. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Coach, thank you for coming on. Of course, I know that next week you guys will be traveling up state. You got a state tournament that you were there last year. And so you're going to be returning back this year. And here in a minute, we'll talk a little bit about the athlete that you're going to be taking up there and get your thoughts on how things will work out this year at the tournament. But before we get to that, I kind of wanted to get some information on Coach Busack, right? So I know you're a football assistant coach, and we've had you on, and we've talked about that. But how did you become the golf coach here in Rockport?
Well, I guess my first year, Coach Mack was the coach, and he was a PE teacher over at Fulton, and was a full-time golf coach, and he was a PGA professional. And about this time of year, it's close to end of the school year, there's usually a coaches scramble, and so we went out and did that, and I think I got put with probably the best golfer on staff was Mark Jeffries, the volleyball coach and softball coach, and so they didn't think I was very good, I guess, and so they put me on the team with Mark, and we won the tournament, and I hit some good shots, and all of a sudden I was known as a golfer. And so when Coach Mack retired during the COVID, Coach Sauer, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you want to be the golf coach?" So I guess that's how I got the golf job.
Wow, that's great. Were you a golfer when you were younger? Did you play golf?
Yes, sir. I think I got my first set of clubs when I was about 8. That's what my parents and I and my sister did on the weekends for fun and hang out together. We'd go to the local farm ranch golf course. They weren't very nice, but they were still something for us to do and go out and hit and learn to play out there. And I kept playing high school golf and continue playing golf and through my 20s, I guess.
Wow, that's great. Well, Coach, when I was younger, I don't think I'm a good golfer. I was a basketball, soccer type player. I like the physical and running. But of course, we get older, right? And we can't do those things anymore. I'm still real competitive. Maybe I'll take up golf and my son plays golf. So maybe, he can teach me a thing or two, and maybe I'll get out there and play. I don't think I'd be very good, but you never know unless you get out there, right? So it seems like it's real easy, but I hear it's not. And I hear it's real competitive. So maybe one day I'll get out on that golf course and we'll see if I can do anything. I mean, I'll never be really good, but maybe I can be average or a little below average.
You should. It's fun. It's a way to, as you say, it's a way to keep competitive as you age, and with there's a thing called the USGA keeps a handicap system, so you can play against the better players, even though you're not as good as them, and still compete and have a good time.
Yeah, the people that I grew up around, family members and stuff, never played golf when we were younger. And now as they get older, I got cousins and stuff. They love it. Anytime they get a chance to get out on that golf course, they're out there, man, and they love it. So I have never heard anybody complain that they didn't like it. Everybody loves it. And then when they get a chance, they want to go out there. So I'm probably going to have to pick it up here at some point when I get some free time. But Coach, I also want to talk to you about your roster for 2023. I know there's some district games. I'd like to see if you can kind of talk a little bit to us about how does it go, where are the games played. I think I saw a schedule. How many games are on the schedule throughout the a season? And if you can just kind of run down, how does all that work here for us here at Rockport?
Well, UIL allows each player to play in 8 tournaments before district. So so the team, there was 10 girls and I think this year like maybe 12 boys. So you take 5 to a tournament. So you can play in more than 8 tournaments because you take different players each one. But each player is allowed to play in 8 tournaments prior to district. So and usually a school only hosts 1 tournament. So the country club was gracious enough to host a tournament for us, and ours was the second week in February. So, but other courses that we played this year. River Hills down in Cal Allen, Lozano and Corpus, Colony Creek and Victoria, Victoria Country Club. I'm trying to think of the other courses that we went to. Port Lavaca, their course up there. That's pretty much, we played a couple of those couple of times. Oh, Alice, we went to Alice. So I think that pretty much sums it up.
Okay. And when does the season start for you guys?
Golf's all year long, but for Rockport, it's really a spring sport. So we started at the end of January.
Okay.
But some schools play both fall and spring.
Okay. And your roster for this year, can you, I don't know if you have the list of the teams, everyone that went out and was part of the golf team this year?
Yeah, for the girls, we had 10 girls this year, 4 seniors, or 5 seniors, sorry, Layden Hatcher, Jessica Scheibe, Carly Kirkendall, Gwen Odom, and Sophia Byram. And then Hannah Creekmore, Sarah White, Emma Grossclose, Olivia McDaniel, and Zadie Zambrana. Those that made up our girls team. And the boys team had Cannon Chapman, Riley Crossland, Brady Cunningham, Tanner Griffin, Caleb Schmidt, Bo Warren, Zach, my son Zach, Brady, I think I said Brady Cunningham, and then so I don't have a list of the boys in front of me.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
That's I think that, and we had some freshmen that came out that never played before, and while they didn't get to play in a tournament, a couple of them I think are gonna get the bug, and that's Gus and Brooke Johnson and Siobhan Patel and Anthony De Leon and Chase Wagner.
So you got quite a few people that come out for golf.
Yeah, this year we had a really good turnout this year. It's I think it's sometimes some of them were have played before, and some of them were playing for the first time, but it's the country club is gracious enough to let everybody practice and get better if they want to. So if they have access to the course if they want, and so I think kids get out there and they see that it's fun, and after a couple of months they can get a little better, and they want to continue to get better. And I think with Hannah's success, they like to try to get to that some level themselves.
Yeah, I think it's a sport that's growing in high school. I remember back when I was in school, and that was in '92, in the early '90s and stuff. And I remember we had players that would go out to the country club and play golf. There were kids. I can't remember if they played in turn, but I know we had it in school back then. And I knew there was a couple of friends of mine that we get in class, and they talk about that. Of course, back then, a lot of people really didn't pay too much attention to golf like I think it is now. But I remember some friends of mine playing golf. So I think it's a sport that's growing, and it's good that the country club is there to support our kids and allow them to go down there and practice. I mean, I think it's really interesting. Now you go to district, and then from district it's regionals. Am I correct, or am I wrong in that?
That's correct. So district was in March, and it was a 2-day 36-hole tournament. And so the way it works is the top 2 teams, the first and second place team, moves on to regionals, plus the top 2 individuals that aren't on those 2 teams. So in the girls' side, Port Lavaca finished first, and we finished second. And so our team qualified for regionals. And then I don't recall who, but I think a couple of Bevo girls qualified as the individuals. And then the boys' side, Bevo and Port Lavaca were the top 2 teams. And then a player from Orange Grove and a player from Ingleside qualified. And Brady Cunningham actually was 1 shot behind, missed qualifying, or at least getting into a playoff to go to regionals by 1 shot.
I'm gonna have to go and check out one of those tournaments. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun to sit there. I've never been to one, Coach. I don't. I mean, I've seen it on TV, and that's about as close as I've gotten to golf. I've never been on a golf course. Lived here all my life, so next year, I guarantee you, I'm going to give you my numbers. You can text me the. I'm going to go out there. I just want to go out there and just see, myself, what the kids experience, so I can come back on this podcast and not just talk about what I'm thinking happens, but I can actually come back on and talk about what I saw out there, because it just seems like it's real exciting, as a spectator, just to go out there and watch it, spend a day. I mean, I've had people do that too. So man, it's a lot of fun. You can sit on the grass, you can just walk around out there. I mean, I've been told how it works, so I'm definitely going to get out there. I'm telling you, next year I'll be out there, at least once, maybe twice, and I'm going to go out there and check our kids out. It just seems like it's a lot of fun. Now,
Oh,
how many? Go ahead.
Good. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Coach. Do you have something to say?
Especially if at the regional tournament, there's a couple of playoffs, and I'm sure we'll get to that in a second. But it was very exciting, and I think the people who are watching had enjoyed it tremendously.
We're definitely going to be bringing some more exposure to your golf program here, and our kids as well. We'll talk a lot here in a minute about Hannah, but in this when you get to the region, how many teams compete at the regional meet?
So it's there's let's see, there would be 16 teams, and then 16 individuals as well. So that would put somewhere in the neighborhood of 108 players.
Wow, that's a lot. That's great. I mean, it just seems like it's really, really exciting. And so Hannah Creekmore. Now this is the young girl that I think she's special. I mean, I've read articles. I've never met the young lady, but I've heard people talk about her, and they, she's invested a lot of time, obviously. But at a young age, last year as a freshman, getting the state, she's got some talent. She's got some skills, right, to get up there as a freshman. But she got into regionals, and I hope I say this correctly, but I know she had to go into a 3-hole or a little round with someone from, I believe it was Davenport.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that and how that occurred?
Well, they both tied. Hannah and the girl from Kamal Davenport tied for the best score. And so to figure out who the winner was, they went to what's known as a sudden death playoff. So the first player to win a hole would win. And so the first hole they played was a short hole, par 3, and they both parred that with a 3. And so they continued on to the next hole, which was a long par 4, and they both made 4. And then they came to the third hole, which was a par 5, and Hannah hit her shot a little left and got under a tree. And her second shot, she had to hit what's known as a little cut, meaning a little left to right shot, real low shot, that ran up to get within about 4 feet of the hole. And she made the putt for which is known as an eagle, which is 2 shots under par, and which won her the regional championship. And so the shot she hit, the second shot she hit was she had hit a couple other shots in the tournament similarly. They didn't end up as good as that one, but that shot that she hit was phenomenal to win the championship.
So, Coach, I'm going to ask you, and that's just it's. I mean, as you're talking, I'm thinking in my head, and I'm trying to visualize this, getting in there, and just it's a special type of talent, I think, to be able to do stuff like that for me. So you've known Hannah, you coached her last year, and this year. Can you talk just a little bit so we can get to know just her work ethic and the time that you see that she puts in and her growth from last year as a freshman to now going over to state for the second time this year, or as a high school?
I said it before, or I'll tell you, anyone that asks me, she's the hardest working athlete that I've ever been around. If there's probably not a day goes by that she's not doing something either at home or at the golf course to make herself better.
Wow.
And she loves the sport, and that's what it takes. I mean, she makes the decision. It's not her parents pushing her. I mean, saying it, it's just she's making the decision. Hey, take me to the golf course today, and she's getting almost old enough there. She can drive herself, but it's like, take me to the golf course. I want to go practice, and please, she's not demanding, but please take me to the golf course. And so yeah, she just she's every day she's trying to get better at what she does, and it shows. I mean, she's much better this year than she was last year, and last year she was so when it comes to regionals, they take the top 3 teams and then the 3 best individuals not on those 3 teams. And last year she was the 3rd qualifier and had to shoot the best second best round of the day on the second day to get that spot. And which was great, and she qualified, and this year she goes and wins the regional championship. So she certainly is improving, and the work that she's putting in is very evident.
Yeah, no, she's showing. And coach, does she play any other sports, or is it just golf?
I think she's tried other sports in the past, but right now her only sport that she does is golf.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame her there. She's got something special going on there. So now this is Hannah Creekmore. Hopefully one day, I've told coach I definitely would like to invite her. And I don't know if she's shy. Some athletes are shy. They just don't like to come on. But we definitely, coach, if we can ever get an opportunity to bring her on, we definitely would love to have her on and talk to her. We definitely. Her name is Hannah Creekmore. She's only a sophomore. Last year as a freshman, she went to state. And she's going back there again here next week. And coach, she won the region 4. Now she'll be leaving. There is a state tournament May 15th and 16th at Legends Golf Course in Kingsland, Texas. So that's her second trip there. And so, coach, let's talk a little bit about her getting to the state tournament for the second time last year. Can you talk a little bit about her performance last year and the competition? How tough is that competition at the state level?
It's certainly tough. I mean, there's the returning state champion is back, and Hannah actually went up over spring break. We went up for the state preview at the course and played. It was very cold, but she played against some of the better teams from out west, like Andrews and Monahans and whatnot. And Andrews probably is going to win the team title for the state tournament. And she played against their best player. And after the first day, she was only behind 1 shot. She still finished second in the state preview and lost to that girl by 5. So I think she's going in this tournament with a legitimate chance to medal, which is a top 3 finish. And, obviously if she doesn't do that, it's not, and she still had a great season and whatnot. But I really think that she has a chance to medal at this tournament. And I think she does. I think she has that same mindset.
Well, like I said, coach, what all the articles that I read on her and what some people have told me about her, because I've asked, and they said she's a hardworking athlete who has invested a lot of time. And what you said here about her is what I've heard from certain people. And I think as a sophomore, I mean, just to be able to go there for the second time, I mean, she's got still a ways to go here in high school through her high school career, right? So the sky's the limit for Hannah and what she can do. And now just really excited to see what the results are going to be here next week when you guys come back. And I'll give you my number, coach. I'll text it over to you. And please let me know the results. I would definitely love to find out how things went and maybe bring you back on if you're available real quick, just to kind of talk about that tournament and what you saw down there. I think it's just a lot of people here around the area really don't know about golf, right? And really don't know the name Hannah Creekmore. And I want to get that name out there. I think she's a special talent, and we got other kids obviously that are just as good or getting better, right? So we don't want to just go to limit it to one person, but this is the athlete that is getting to the state tournament. So we definitely want to give as much exposure to this girl, well deserved, and we want to be able to let our community know here, how she's doing at that state tournament. So if you could just, like I said, give me the results, or if you can just want to come back, I'll have you back on, and definitely just kind of let us know what's going on. Either way works fine with me. So you guys leave. When are you guys leaving to get to the tournament?
She has a practice round on Sunday set up. So Sunday afternoon, she have a practice round, weather permitting, and then her tea time is already set for Monday at 8 a.m. She's
Sounds
playing for a girl from Monahans and Frisco Panther Creek. So she goes off hole number 1, 8 o'clock on Monday.
Wow, I just think it's special, and I wish I knew more about golf so that you and I could sit here and have more of a conversation. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Coach. I'm very bare minimal, but I'm gonna learn it and continue to have you on. We here, we focused the last couple of years on the football, obviously, the baseball, the softball, but there's other sports here, and my group is growing a little bit more, where we want to be able to live stream more games and bring more attention not only to golf but to tennis. There's just a lot of stuff that we do. Our underclassmen next year in our middle school is something that we're going to be paying attention to as well with our youth. So we're definitely going to be talking more golf, and I guarantee you I'll get better as we bring you guys on, and hopefully some of the players. You'll see I'll get a little bit better than I was my first time around. But I do apologize that I don't know more about golf.
That's fine. I just want to say this about Hannah, and it goes for all the rest of the team as well. She's a much better person than she is a golfer.
I've heard that too.
So she and then 4 or 5 others from the team were inducted to the National Honor Society last night, and I don't think you can find anyone in the school or community to say a bad thing about her. So while she is great at what she does there, she's also a fantastic person.
Absolutely, and I hope to have her on the podcast one day to be able to talk to her personally. Like I said, just want to be able to let the community know who she is, the name, and if she wants to come on, people can kind of put a name with a face, obviously. But whether she wants to come on or not, or any of the other players that want to come on, if some feel comfortable, some don't, we invite. If they don't come on, we definitely understand that and respect the decision. But for those, Coach, that next year that do want to come on and talk a little bit about the program, definitely they're always welcome here. Just like I said, I'll give you my number, text it to me, let me know the name. I'll put them on the schedule on a Wednesday, and we can have them on and we can talk more golf. So definitely that invitation is open to you, and it's open to all of your athletes from here on out. So again, Hannah Creekmore, she'll be going up next week. She'll be competing in the state tournament. Again, this will be her second time. She's only a sophomore. She was there last year. And you heard Coach here, you think she's got a good shot at medaling this year. So it's just real exciting, Coach, for me to see a young athlete like that having so much success, and then the growth where she can end up between now and her senior year is what's amazing to me. And we want to go ahead and bring as much exposure as we can to your program, to Hannah Creekmore, to the rest of the players. So, Coach, thank you for taking some time to come out and spend some time with me and talk about your program. Good luck at the state tournament, and hopefully all works well for you and Hannah. I'll give you the final word here on the Pirates Cove. Anything you want to add before we call it a night?
I just want to thank you for doing what you do for the community and the sports program here in Rockport and at the high school. And thanks for highlighting the golf team and the program.
Absolutely, Coach. And like I said, if you want to come back after you come back, you're more than welcome. I'll send you an invite and come out and talk to us about how things went over at the state tournament. And then next year, for sure, we'll definitely have you and some of your players on. We'll continue to bring some exposure to the golf program here at Rockport-Fulton. Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck at the state tournament, and we'll see you here in a couple of days.
Yes, sir.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
Thank you. That was Rockport coach, our golf coach, Harold Busack. Coach Busack, you heard his experience, a coach that pretty good at golf himself, and he's been playing for quite some time. And we, like I said, we're going to expand, and we're going to cover more of our Rockport-Fulton programs, not just the football, baseball. We're definitely going to make an effort and he's going back up to the state tournament again, and he's taking Hannah Creekmore again, a sophomore that I think you're going to hear a lot about her on the Parts Co podcast here. I think she's got some kind of special skill, right? And we definitely want to keep the community here, Rockport, aware of this girl and what she's accomplished so far, and what she may continue to accomplish in the next couple of years. So definitely, I'm looking to invite Coach Busack back onto the Pirates Co podcast once the tournament's completed, and get his thoughts on how they did over at the tournament. Again, a lot of great players. The competition's tough. The regionals are tough, but the tournament's going to be even tougher. So you heard Coach here. He thinks that Hannah's got a good chance of medaling. So definitely going to be waiting the outcome. So I want to thank Coach Busack for spending some time here on the Pirates Cove and talking a little bit about his program and the state tournament that they'll be traveling to next week. We also are going to talk more sports here, Rockport sports at 7:30. We do got. We're going to switch over from golf, and we're going to go over to baseball. I've got three players that are scheduled to join me here on the podcast this evening at 7:30. Three freshmen that are on the varsity that have made an impact. They definitely made an impact for Coach Elizondo and the Pirate baseball team. And it's Chris Oakman, it's Jaxon Grubert, and Jaxon Keown. So definitely wanted to bring some of the younger guys on and talk to them a little bit and get their thoughts on the Divine tournament, the first round playoff game with Divine, and then also get their thoughts on the upcoming second round playoff with Robstown. So they are scheduled to join the podcast here in a few minutes, and then after that at 8:15 p.m. we'll also have our Rockport-Fulton Pirates head baseball coach Arturo Tutti Elizondo, Coach Elizondo. Wanted to get his thoughts. I hadn't talked to him since the playoff win versus Divine, so definitely want to bring him on, get his thoughts on the team, how well they play, because I thought they offensively. I mean, it's I hadn't seen them play that way all year. The offense was they just exploded in game 1 and 2. So definitely want to get Coach Tutti's thoughts on the first round series win versus Divine, and then of course we definitely want to talk about the upcoming a playoff against Robstown. That game 1, it's a 2 out of 3 series. So game 1 will be played here in Rockport tomorrow. So please come on out be as loud as you can. Bring your green and gold. It's a home playoff game. So definitely, I hope it is crowded. I hope we have a lot of people that'll show up out there in support of our Pirates. And then game 2, we'll travel over to Robstown for game 2. And should there need to be a game 3, that's still to be determined. And once I find out if we go to game 3, I'll definitely post it on the Facebook, on the Pirates Co Facebook, Twitter page, and let the community know where those games will be played. But definitely tomorrow, game 1 here in Rockport. If you got time, please come out, support the Pirates. Definitely would love to see the place packed, the outfield, inside, the whole area would be packed, and be real loud in support of our Pirates. And that game is scheduled to start at 7. So I'm definitely excited. I'll be there myself to watch the game. I'm planning on going to Robstown if I can get off work early and get out there. But I'm definitely going to be out in tomorrow's game here in Rockport. So definitely I'll be talking to the boys and Coach Elizondo about that. So the boys come on here in a few minutes, and then at 8:15, scheduled to join the podcast, Coach Tutti Elizondo. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about our Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates softball, recap the season. They're got into the first round, got into the playoffs, and I think we lost to Pearsall. If you look back at my notes, but definitely that was a great season for the Lady Pirates and Coach Reyes. And one thing I'll talk a little bit about this. I don't want to get too much into it because I think the boys will be coming on here in a minute, but it's another team. You hear me talk a lot about the baseball team, and and how young this team is for Coach Elizondo, and just kind of, a lot of the players from this year's playoff team will be back next year for him. For Coach Reyes, it's basically the same. Now, there's going to be some girls that are going to graduate this year, some girls that definitely are going to be missed because, they've been a part of this team. Some of them, I remember them as sophomores. Maybe some were even there as a freshman, but I do remember some of these seniors playing and as a sophomore for us. So losing some of those seniors definitely, it's always hard to lose those seniors, right? You never want to see them go, but they've got to graduate and move on. But the bulk of that team also will be back for Coach Reyes. So next year, a lot of those girls from first round playoff will be back next year. A lot of sophomores, juniors. There'll be some juniors and seniors next year. And then when you look at the softball team too, not just the varsity, but if you look the underclassmen, boy, there's a lot of talent that's coming up for softball. You got to really get excited and come out and not just watch the varsity, but watch the underclassmen, the JV team. There's a lot of talent there. I've seen these girls when they were younger, or middle school. There's a lot of girls at that middle school that I saw play also last year that are very, very talented. So just like our baseball team, our softball girls, I think are going to be good for quite some time. And I said that last year and the year before, looking at what was coming up, and we pay a lot of attention. That softball team here from Rockport is going to be really good. So when you think about it, right, you get excited about what the baseball team is doing and potentially how special their seasons can be the next couple of years. Same thing with Coach Reyes and her softball team. You got to come out and watch some of these girls play. They put in a lot of time out on that softball field. And so a younger team, but definitely a lot of talent. And I look for both the baseball team and the softball team for the next couple of years to be very successful and go deep into the playoffs. We'll see how all that works out. But I'm really excited toward the end of the school year when it comes to baseball and softball, because again, like I said, there's just a whole lot of talent. So definitely talk a little bit more about that and some of the seniors that will be graduating. I believe there's four. I hope I'm right. I got to look at my notes. I got them here somewhere, but I believe there's four seniors, and we'll talk about them here toward the end of the podcast. Also, I'll talk a little bit about our 7-on-7 football. That's coming up also starting on Monday. It'll be over at Cabinets. So I'll kind of talk a little bit about that. That's another thing that I'm excited about, kind of getting out there. There'll be no live streaming or anything like that, but just get out there, take some notes, kind of get an idea of what we got out there. I know some of the baseball players are still playing, so I don't know what it'll look like, but just getting that football feeling back, right, and watching some football 7-on-7. It's exciting. So I'll definitely be out there. That they'll play every Monday. So I'll be out there. I think the first game is they play at 5:30. I have to look at my notes, but they play at 5:30, and then they play at 6:30 again. So there'll be two games. So I'll be out there at Cabinets taking my notes, watching, seeing what goes on. Come back on the podcast on Wednesday and talk a little bit about football. So we got that to look forward to. And like I said, we're also going to be now streaming the games. We're going to get to as many games as we can starting the next school year. So we're going to be streaming football. We're going to be streaming volleyball. But we also want to get into our JV and our freshmen. We also want to do our middle school. Now, when it comes to the JV and freshmen in middle school, I don't think we can do every a game, but I'm going to try to get out there. Hopefully I can get some help and get out there and record as many of those games as we can. Definitely going to talk about them, but definitely try to get as much live streaming games as we can for the middle school, for our freshmen and JV, to let the community see some of the younger talent that we got coming up in the next couple of years. And we're definitely going to be also streaming the youth, which is they play one game on Saturday. So the youth are a little bit easier. You know, they play on the weekend. So if I'm off from work on the weekends, I can definitely get out there, even if it's all day, and just kind of stream some games down there for our football, for our basketball, definitely for our baseball and softball. And this is all just to get the community excited to kind of see some of the young talents, and not only that, but I can tell you from last year, a lot of the coaches that we have at that younger level, at the youth level, I seen last year personally how much time is put in there, and that's on a volunteer basis. I mean, these guys just don't. With our coaches out there, they just don't go out there and just play. They got to get out there. They opened up the concession stand. They got a lot of help out there. They're out there looking at other players, recruiting, trying to bring more kids in, to get involved. So when I saw a lot of what they do, sometimes we think they're just out there, they're just coaching, and then they go home, and that's far from it. A lot of the volunteer that these coaches, the time they put in with these athletes, man, it's amazing to me. And I think um, it's a lot of coaches that I think really care about our youth out there. They definitely want to win, but I think they really generally care about our boys, our kids down there. I'm talking mainly what I saw in football, and I was really impressed with the amount of time that these guys, take out, because it's a 1 day, man. They're out there from beginning to end, and that's just a home game. I can't imagine how it is to travel out, but we definitely want to bring some of that to the Pirates Cove. Let the community know what our coaches are doing, how they're coaching, how well our kids are doing. So we're going to do a better job next year of getting out there to those games, streaming them for you, our middle school, our underclassmen, and then obviously to our varsity. So that's something to look forward to. It's something that I've worked around my schedule at work to be able to get off as much as possible, to be able to get out to the games and do this in live stream, and then bring some of them obviously over to the Pirates Cove podcast to talk every Wednesday. So the Pirates Cove podcast is going to be a little different next year. It's going to be a little bit longer because when we come on, we're going to be talking. We get into football. Obviously, we'll be talking about football, the varsity, but we're also going to talk about the Thursday games, which will involve our freshmen and our junior varsity. We're going to talk about the Tuesday games that are middle school. And then we're going to talk about our Saturday games that involved our youth. And then we've got Tuesdays and Fridays where we also have our volleyball team to play. So we're going to be talking about the volleyball. We're going to be talking about the freshman and junior varsity, the junior high. So the podcast will go a little bit longer, but I think it's real important to talk about as many of these programs as we can and let the community know what we're doing at all of the levels, bringing in some coaches at different weeks. Maybe sometimes we'll bring in 2 or 3 like we're doing tonight, but just definitely want to get more involved with the programs we do and bring it to the attention of the community and let them know what we're doing at all levels, because last year what I saw at the lower level was a lot of talent. So definitely excited about that. And I should be getting the boys on here. So maybe they'll be coming on. I know that they had practice at I think they practiced today in Ingleside is what I think I heard. So they're practicing up in Ingleside. So they may be a little late getting back home. I know I did get a response from the boys. So I am looking forward to having them on. Hopefully they'll make it back home in time and come on and talk to them a little bit about the upcoming playoff game here that'll be there tomorrow. And then, of course, Coach Tudy Elizondo scheduled to come on at 8:15 and get his thoughts on the upcoming playoff game, and then talk to him about the game with Divine. So I guess we got a little bit of time. We can go ahead and talk a little bit about our softball girls. And like I said, there were some seniors. So I'm gonna try to remember. I think there were 4 seniors. If I miss somebody, my apologies beforehand. I hope I don't, but if I do, my apologies. But I think it's I know Elena Garcia will be graduating, and Kimberlyn Gerloff will also be graduating. Riley Wittstein, I think, is another senior, and Alyssa Rodriguez, I believe, is what I wrote down. I think they're the 4. And again, if I'm missing somebody, my apologies. But definitely those four girls will be graduating, and we're definitely going to miss them. And as I said, it's always kind of hard when you lose seniors. I almost sometimes wish that it was um, like football where people could just play for 7 or 8 years for a team, but obviously you got to graduate and you got to go, and that's why that mentality of the next person up mentality is so important, because your seniors are going to graduate, and to have a successful program, the next person up, these underclassmen, these freshmen, these junior varsity, and these other players on any sport, right, is when your time is called and you're up there, you got to be ready, and that all comes from practices, that all comes from putting the time in, right? So getting ready, a lot of times, we don't, you got to be ready when your numbers call, because if it's not this year, you could be up there next year. You never know. So you always got to be ready. Before our softball girls, Elena and Kimball in particular, that I've had on the podcast before, definitely going to miss those ladies. I saw a lot of success. I saw them as sophomores when I first started following the softball program. Kimball playing first base, Elena playing outfield, and I saw Elena just do some things out there that was amazing to me. And again, it's just it was fun watching them. They had a lot of success their sophomore year, going into the playoffs, 3 rounds, and getting into the playoffs every year from their sophomore, junior to senior year. So a lot of success. Like I said, it's always hard when we let these girls go. But the next girls, like I said, Coach Reyes has some young girls that I think this softball team is going to be good for quite some time. Very competitive. Hope to get back to those later rounds, third, fourth round, and hopefully we can get out there and make some noise in the playoffs. But definitely going to miss Kimbo, miss Elena. I know Elena's going to be playing softball at the next level, so definitely, good luck to her out there, and hopefully anything that's posted on Facebook. I'm friends with some of the family members. Hopefully they'll put some post up there, and I can see how well she's doing. I have no doubt that she's going to be doing well out there like she did in high school. It's a very talented young lady that when it comes to softball really has a high IQ, I think, in my opinion, when she plays softball. Been playing, I think, since she was little. So definitely it's part of who she is. So definitely looking for Lena to have a lot of success down there at the next level. And whatever I can see on post, definitely I'll keep people posted here on the Pirates Cove if I see anything on how well she's doing out at that next level. Kimball, definitely going to miss Kimball. I don't know what her plans are, but Kimball was somebody that moved here when she was in high school and just contributed a lot to this team from what I saw. And this year, just having to be, I mean, I knew she was a pitcher, but she had to, be that pitcher all season. I thought she did a great job at pitcher this year for us, mentoring some of the younger girls that we're going to be seeing up here, possibly pitching for the Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates in the next couple of years, and then just playing first base. So I know it didn't end the way we wanted to, getting knocked out of the first round, but a lot of success that they had this year. So definitely going to miss Kimball as well. And then I never had Riley or Alyssa on, but definitely all of the girls that are going to be leaving, definitely we're going to miss them. And I'm looking forward to next year coming back and, live streaming the softball girls. Or if anybody, I know there's a lot of people that love softball. So if anybody wants to come out and help out softball and come out and want to go out there and live stream, just get a hold of me and let me know. I'm always looking for people to help. If you don't want to put the headsets on, yeah, I'm good with that. But definitely at least get out there, get onto the road and stream some of these games. That would be real helpful to me because we're covering the baseball and we're definitely trying to make arrangements. And the goal is to try to get every game. I don't like going, 1 week here and 1 week there. I like to get with a group and travel with that group, not with them, but out of town and in town. It just makes it that much better, giving them more exposure. So I'm definitely, if there's someone that's wants to get out there and hey man, I'll stream these games. If you want to put the headset on and talk, that's great. Just get a hold of me. I'm definitely looking for somebody that wants to do that for the softball team next year. So if you're interested, like I said, just text me. Let me know you're interested, and definitely we can talk. And like I said, if you don't want to talk, just at least get the camcorder out there. We'll set it up for you. All you got to do is just kind of move it around. That'd be great. Just so people that can't get to the game can at least watch it. We're looking for people to go from the, give me just a second here. So, like I said, if you definitely want to be part of that and help out in that, man, I definitely would appreciate that. Like I said, just to kind of get the stream out there, be somebody that could come to the home games and willing to go out to the out of town games and record the games. That'd be great. So if I can get somebody like that, that's really going to help out a lot in really covering the sport. That's the goal that we're working towards, is trying to get up there and do a little bit more recording. So definitely let me know if you're interested. If not, we'll work something out. I'll definitely make it work somehow. But definitely we're going to be live streaming more games next year. So that's coming. You're going to see that over the summer too. Once we get baseball and softball all stars, definitely going to get with the coach, find out where they're going to be playing, and I'm going to be driving out there and trying to live stream as many of those games. Last year we just did the softball girls, and it was a lot of fun for me, man. I tell you, I went out there, I had a great time. Let me see. Give me just a second. Okay, so I thought I had sent out the information to the boys. I was kind of wondering if I had gotten a text from them earlier. So I took a look, and I don't think I sent them the meeting information. So my apologies. I thought I sent it over to them. I didn't. So I just sent it over to them. So they might be popping on here in just a minute. That we'll get a response here. But again, just a great season for our Lady Pirates once again. The great competition that they had with Sinton and Port Lavaca, Ingleside. I said that early on before the season that there was a lot of competition. It's a great district. I always love going out there. It's very competitive. And so definitely I love watching those girls. It's always fun out there. It's fun. It's even better when we win, right? But just the competition out there when we take on Ingleside, it's always a good game. Calhoun, it's always a good game. And those games between Rockport and Sinton, no matter who wins or loses, it's always good. It's always a lot of competition out there. They've got a lot of talent. Rockport's got a lot of talent. So next year, going to be no different. So we can't wait till we get back out on that softball field next year and watch these girls compete at another high level. Our district is really, really good. So let me see. Let me read. So I've got one of the boys coming on. All right. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Chris?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great.
All right. Sorry. I had Coach Busack on, then I started talking, and then I looked and I said, man, I sent you guys the message, but I didn't send them the meeting information. So I said, let me send it over to them. So we're waiting on one more guy. If you guys can text the meeting ID number, who do I got it? Jackson. If you can send it over to Grubert. Oh, I think I sent it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he'll come on here in just a minute. All right, so guys, thank you very much for coming out and spending some time with me here on the Pirates Cove. I wanted to get some of the younger boys on. You guys that were younger, I believe all three of you are freshmen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it's really exciting for me because what we do here on the Pirates Code, right, is we just brag about you guys, man. That's all we do. That's what we're supposed to do, right? So we come on and we pump it up, man. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes other people can look at my podcast and say, "Oh, those guys think they're full of man. Well, we're going to show them." So it can be good and bad, but for us, I love. I bleed green and gold, right? Even when I was in school, I love supporting the Pirates. And I'm glad you guys were able to come on here and spend a little bit of time with me and talk a little bit about your season, the playoff that you guys had against Divine, and then coming up to Robstown. So I've got Chris Oakman. Chris, kind of pick up your hands so they don't know who Chris Oakman is. So that's Chris. And then we have Jaxon Keown. And then we have Jackson Grubert. All right, guys, thank you. So listen, freshmen. So I'm going to start off here real quick and ask all three of you guys this question. So you're coming, and this is just me, right? You're playing middle school ball last year. So there's a big jump, right, from middle school because you're playing with guys that probably 3 years older than you, right? So the speed of the game speeds up. I mean, everything just gets really, really fast, really quickly. But Coach Elizondo, obviously, he has a lot of confidence in you guys. Whatever you guys are doing on the practice field, he's relying on you guys. I mean, oh, Chris, I've seen him come in some pretty tough situations, having to get a couple of outs, and he's done that. Jackson, I see you playing shortstop, I believe. Gruber, you guys are playing some big positions for this team. So, Chris, I'll ask you first to talk a little bit about this season. When did you find out that you were going to be with the varsity, and just talk about the season and how you've grown from day one to what it is today, right? Getting ready to play the second round of the playoffs.
Well, I found out early in the season that I was going to be with the varsity, and it was definitely a challenge to come in and play with the older guys. You know, it puts a lot of stress on me, but you just got to work through it. And as the season gone by, I've gotten better handling the stress and coming in on those bad situations. But I've learned to take care of it real good, and as I went on, it's got easier.
Chris, I got to say, you've been very impressive. The games I've gone to here lately, you've been very impressive. Now, I don't know the whole tournaments because I didn't go to the whole tournaments. Next year, we're going to follow you guys pretty much every game. But the games I've seen, been very impressive. I see some, and I've talked to Coach Elizondo when I've had him on, man. You definitely are, man. The future looks bright for Pirate baseball. I can tell you that with just three of you guys coming back for 3 more years and just seeing what we have. So you're definitely impressive, young man, and you're doing one heck of a job for us here, man. Jackson, I'll talk to you. So you play shortstop, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll ask you the same thing. When did you find out you were going to be playing for the varsity, starting for the varsity at that?
I found out towards the end of winter ball that I was going to be mostly varsity. And then as the season progressed, going through the scrimmages, I learned I was going to be just varsity and I was going to play shortstop. I didn't know like how much I was going to play, but I knew I was going to get playing time at short and maybe pitch some.
Yeah. Wow.
But now towards the end of the season, it's just short. It's been just playing shortstop. And whenever Isaiah is catching, I play short. And if Isaiah is at short, then I'll just hit or I'll sit the bench that day.
Wow. And Jackson Grubert, I'll ask you the same thing. When did you find out, hey, I'm going to be on the varsity team, man?
I found out early in the season towards our tournaments and scrimmages. I think scrimmages, I found out that I was going to be starting on the varsity.
So Jackson, I'll ask you, Grubert, how much have you grown in confidence from day one that you guys started practicing to today?
I'd say there's a lot more confidence than I had at the beginning of the season. This season, I started rough at the plate. I wasn't hitting the ball as well as I should have been, and I think I've grown from there at confidence at the plate, hitting the ball a lot better.
Definitely you are. Jaxon Keown, I'll ask you the same thing. Your confidence from day one to now, how much has it grown?
It's grown a lot. At the beginning of the season, I stress a lot. I think too much about what if this happens, what if that happens. But now I just know put in the ball and play. I just got to do my job.
Have some fun out there and play some ball, right? Chris, I'll ask you the same thing, man. You're in a little different position because you're coming in, you're pitching for the Pirates. But how much has that growth grown from day one that you were there to some of these positions that you've been put in, and you've been very impressive, and you succeeded, right? You've come in, you've done your job, and you shut them down, and we won the game. How much has your confidence grown from day one to today?
Well, at the beginning of the season, it was very hard. Like I was stressed all the time. I was worried I was gonna let the team down and stuff. But towards the end, it just got easier because I know what I can do, and I'm very confident in myself now.
Chris, I'm going to ask you to talk about your pitching coach. I think it's Martinez, Coach Martinez. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir.
Just talk a little bit. We haven't really. I don't know Coach Martinez. I hope to get to know him, but I know that he plays a big part. Coach Elizondo comes in here and talks a lot about what he's done, the work he's done with you and Sean and Kyle and all that. Just talk to us a little bit about Coach Martinez. Who is he? How has he helped you this year develop your confidence, and you just gotten better over the year? How has he helped you become a better pitcher throughout this season?
Well, he's definitely helped me a lot. He knows his stuff. He's really well. And he's helped me a lot on my control and stuff. He's got me stronger this year. He's a good guy. He helps a lot with all the team.
Well, we're from what I hear, we're definitely happy to have Coach Martinez here as part of our baseball coaching staff. Jaxon Keown, I'll ask you. Let's talk a little bit about Divine. So you guys go in there. I think they're the third place team in their district. You guys were second. You guys had a great season. Obviously you're playing Sinton, and Sinton they're in a different level right now, right? They're state champs, and they're number one again, and they could possibly get back and win another one, which is, it's amazing what they do out there. But you guys played them. Obviously they beat us, but I think you can always grow, especially you young guys. You get in there, you're seeing the best. You're seeing what you have to do to get to that level. But outside of Sinton, you went 1-1 with Calhoun, you went 1-1 with Beeville, but then you get into the playoffs, and you guys just, like, offensively, I don't know what happened. You guys just scored. It's like you turned on a switch and you say, okay, now the season starts, right? Because I saw the game at 14 runs. Everybody's hitting. Everybody's getting on base. It was just an explosive 14 run in game one. Then you guys come back and you scored 10. So talk to me a little bit. Did you guys have a little meeting? What happened? You guys offensively just really, really let it out.
Coach G talked to us. He told us we have a job to do, and it's win or go home. So we got there Friday, and we got in our bag. We knew we needed to hit the ball. We needed to fill the ball well, and everybody was doing their job. Everybody had something to do, and they did it.
It is, and it seemed to me when I've seen you guys play, right? And I'm gonna go to Jaxon Grubert next. Jaxon, when you guys, it seems like when the top of that lineup, right, where you got Gibson, Elizondo, Smith is there too, but Phillips and Elizondo and Gibson, right? When those guys get on base, it seems like when they get on, the rest of you guys just follow through, because the middle of that lineup and that bottom of that lineup, when you guys get going like that, I think, man, it's going to be hard to beat Rockport, because the pitching, I believe, is there to be competitive with anybody, right? But when that offense is rolling here, when you guys are rolling, it's tough, man. Just give me your thoughts on Divine, Jaxon Gruber, and just what were your thoughts offensively? We heard Cowan talk about what Coach Tootie said, but did anything else happen? Were you guys just feeling it when you got off the bus?
Defensively, we did good. I think we only had 2 strikeouts that first game, and we had 14 hits. When we got off the bus, we knew we needed to hit the ball, like Jaxon said. We needed to field the ball. We needed to win or go home. I think we executed that very well, and I think we played to some of the best of our ability.
You definitely look. Yes, no, you guys, boy, I tell you what, if we score like that against Robstown, we're going to the third round. If offensively we play like that, man, I'm telling you, because I think Rockport's very, very tough to beat when we're scoring 10, 14 runs offensively. And I had seen that throughout the season, guys. I've seen spurts of that, and then we kind of regress a little bit. But I had seen it throughout the season where we could potentially, the potential was there where we could do this consistently, but it was off and on. And then in this first round playoff, but you guys just went at it. I mean, it's just like you guys were building that confidence. Chris, I'll ask you as a young pitcher, how has Sean Howe, and Sean's still young himself too, but what have you learned from Kyle Novak, the senior, and Sean Howe, the sophomore?
Well, I really look up to guys. They're good. They're older than me. Yes. I look up to them. They're great, and I really want to be like them whenever I get older.
Well,
They
yeah,
throw good, they're accurate and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Well, Kyle will graduate this year, but man, when I look, and I'm just gonna say this because I brag about you boys. I just that's what we do here on the Pirates Cove, right? But having a Chris Oakman for the next 3 years, and what I've seen from you, having a Sean Howe for 2 more years, and what this young man has done, right? And then I look at some of the middle school pitching that I win a couple of games. I'm thinking to myself, man, these three guys right here are coming back for 3 more years. We got some youngsters down there at that JV level that can play some ball. We could potentially in the next 3 to 5 years, Rockport could do something very special with what we've got coming up here. And this is why we bring you guys. We want to bring that out to the community. We want the community to come out and get excited about Rockport Pirate baseball and see these young talent. And man, they're going to be around for quite some time. Come on out, catch a game. You ain't going to be disappointed, right? So that's the one reason why we want you guys out here. Jaxon Keown, I'll ask you. You've got a big game tomorrow. Robstown's coming into town, and they're a little different than Divine. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That baseball team was good when I was in school. They have always been well coached out there. This year, they won their district. They beat a ranked Cal Allen team twice, I believe. They swept them. So this team's coming in. They know how to play baseball. It's a really good team. Your thoughts on tomorrow's game here in Rockport and just the series? Just your thoughts playing against what's going to be a good Robstown team.
They're well coached. We played them earlier in the season and we lost. I think it was 5-3. And we've progressed from then. We've hit the ball better, we've pitched better, we've played better defense. And I know that this first game is very important to us. We have them at home and we want to put it on them early. And we know who they have, what they can do, and we're ready. We're ready for them.
I'm ready. Hey, listen, I thought about calling into work tomorrow, just getting out there early and just pumping. I mean, that's just the way I get, right? Now, I'm not going to miss work. I got to go out there and work, but I'm going to get out early. I'm going to hit the field early out there. And I'm definitely going to be out there supporting you guys. And to me, you guys, you're champions already. I don't know each one. First time I've talked to you guys, but to me, I definitely, hopefully we get the win and we move on. But no matter how that series goes, you guys are champions to me already. And I'm already excited about what I've seen this year and potentially what we can get. I mean, we got a series. I think we got a good chance of winning it from what I saw with Divine. But to me, definitely, we got an opportunity to do something special tomorrow night here at home. I would ask all the Pirate fans, come out and support, bring your green and gold. Come on out to the outfield. If you're going to sit out in the outfield with your vehicles, if you're going to come in, let's get loud early. Let's support our Pirates. They got a big game tomorrow against a really good Robstown team. We could use all of the support. Like for you guys to see the stadium, the field packed with green and gold in support of you guys, because I think tomorrow's game is special. And you're right, Jaxon. If we can get that game one so important going into game two at their place, puts us in a great opportunity to just have to win 1 out of 2. So I'll definitely be out there. Hopefully everybody be out there cheering you guys on. Jaxon, Grubert, I'd ask you the same thing. Give me your thoughts on tomorrow's game 1 being played here at home in Rockport.
I like that it's at home. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go out there and fight, and I think the whole team is ready to go out there and fight. Robstown's a good team. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be here and there. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a good series. It's gonna be fun.
It is. I can't wait. I this is what I do, guys. I sit here and I sit here till like 12 midnight in the office, and I'm looking at Robstown. I'm not even a scout, but I just do that. I want to know. I like, what edge do we have? What edge do they have over us? So I do all these things and I text people, hey, I think we can do this. I think we can do that. That's what's the fun part about being and doing this podcast, right? It's just being able to go down there, I see my live streams when I've had you guys. I go back to the live streams to each one of you guys. I see what you guys are doing defensively. I'll sit here for 2 or 3 hours and just play just with that live stream and just see all you guys. So I feel like I know you guys. I've never talked to you guys the first time, but just watching those live streams over and over, I feel like I know you guys already because I see you guys playing consistently. Because I'll repeat that live stream, man, like 5 or 6 times in one day, just trying to get to see you guys. And so that's what's exciting to me, trying to break the games down. Chris, I'll ask you also get your thoughts on tomorrow's game 1 here in Rockport against Robstown.
Well, if we go out there and we hit the ball and we have good pitching, we should definitely bring a dub home. We'll be good for game 1. We really want the first win, so we won't have no stress going on later on it. But if everybody does their job, we'll definitely win.
So I want to ask you guys something. So I saw the interview. I know Channel 3 came out, right? And they interviewed you guys and then those guys as well. One thing I heard those guys say was they heard that you guys wanted to play them. Is that accurate, Keown? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Really? So you guys want them. Hey, I love that, guys, about you. You want to be the best. And Ric Flair said to be the man, you got to beat the man, right? So Robstown's been at the top of the crop for quite some time, right? So we want to get there. Hey, we want to play those guys and we want to beat those guys. I think you guys are playing with a lot of confidence. It's been a great season, guys. Good luck tomorrow. I'm real excited just to watch you guys. Like I said, I've seen enough to get really excited about the future. And I'm looking forward to a great series tomorrow. Hopefully we get the win, but either way for me, just go out there, have some fun. That's what it's all about. Don't put no pressure on yourself. It's just another game. Go out there, have some fun. You guys are going to do great. And if we get that win, boy, it's going to get real exciting here in Rockport, right? Going into game 2 in Robstown. Guys, thank you very much. I'll give you guys the final word here on the Cove because I got your coach coming on here in a few minutes. Chris, I'll ask you, man, any final thoughts before we call it a night?
Nothing much. I just hope we go out tomorrow and we hit the ball good, have good pitching, and hope we win.
Definitely, man. I'll be one fan out there, man, cheering you guys on. I'll be in the press box, so you won't hear me yelling, but I'll definitely be out there cheering you guys on. Jaxon Grubert, final thoughts, man, before we let you go.
We're ready. We're going to go out there and we're going to fight tomorrow. Go Pirates.
Absolutely. And Jaxon Keown, any thoughts, final thoughts?
We're ready. We're prepared. I'm ready to go out there tomorrow and catch a dub.
Absolutely. I just want to ask, you guys have been practicing in Ingleside or you've been practicing here? Okay, so I've been practicing over there. How did practice go today? How are you guys? How's practice been all week? Anyone you guys can answer, whoever wants to answer it.
It was good.
It's been good.
We went, we hit, we fielded, and everything felt smooth.
Relax. Yeah, that's the way to go, guys. And like I said, good luck tomorrow. All Pirate fans, please come on out tomorrow. Game 1 of a 2 out of 3 series in the area around the second round. It'll be between your Rockport-Fulton Pirates, the Robstown Pickers coming into town. It's going to be a good one. You heard the boys here, man. They're getting ready. So please come on out early. Game time starts at 7. Please come out early. Green and gold. Come out loud and proud. Be loud all night long. Support your Pirates. You heard the boys here. They want to get that game 1. It's real important for them to get that game 1 as game 2. They'll be traveling to Robstown. So please come on out tomorrow. Don't wait to see it on the live stream. Come on out. It's here at home, man. It's not too far from the house. Come out, support the Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball. Guys, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time. I'll plan to have you guys back in the future here on the Pirates Cove. But good luck tomorrow, and I'll definitely be out there cheering you guys on. Again, these are our freshmen playing varsity, Jaxon Keown, Jaxon Grubert, and Chris Oakman. Guys, thank you very much. Have a great night and good luck.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us on.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Go
sir.
Pirates.
Yes, sir.
Go Pirates.
Have a good night.
Yes, sir. And those are 3 of our baseball players, our younger players, to be exact. You got these guys, and I've seen a couple other games, and I got to tell you, they don't play like freshmen, man. They really don't. Now, I got to the season, so I didn't see the beginning parts that they were talking about. I got there toward the middle, the last. But those boys can hit. They can field. they're working hard, and that's what's exciting to me is watching the young group of guys being successful at that level. And these three gentlemen are definitely having some success here for the Pirate varsity, and I think that their confidence obviously builds. And just talking to these guys, they're just going to go out there. They believe, and I've always said this when I come on the podcast. You got to have like an arrogance, I guess. I don't know if that's the correct word, but to yourself when you play, right? You got to know, hey, I'm good. I belong here. I belong here. We can win. You got to believe to be able to succeed. You got to believe. You can't go into a game and say, I don't know, we can win. You got to go in there. We can win. We belong. We're just as good as the team we're going to play, and we're going to win. And these three guys, you heard it here on the Pirates Cove. There's no doubt in their mind that they can play with these guys and that they can win. And they want to win this game one. And that offense has just been rolling. So if that offense continues to carry over to the second round and they play the way that I saw them play with Divine, be careful because Rockport's hitting their stride. So please come on out once again tomorrow night here in Rockport, game one at Pirate Field. Game time starts at 7:00. You'll have Robstown coming into town, taking on your Rockport-Fulton Pirates. I'll definitely be up there at the press box. Now, I'm not going to live stream it. There's some things that I'm trying to take care of. Some people know the UIL and stuff, so I'm trying to work through some things here. So hopefully all that'll get taken care of, and I'll be back to be able to live stream. We're going to live stream all the regular season games, but to the playoffs, we're trying to work on something that'll benefit you guys, us, to be able to live stream the playoff games, not just for baseball, but softball next year, or football, or basketball, all of the stuff. So this year, I'm still working on that. So I couldn't get no live streams, but definitely next year, we're working on getting all that taken care of now throughout the summer to be ready next year. So hopefully everything will work out for us. But I will be giving updates. So just like I did in the Divine, I'll be up there with my iPad. So I'll be seeing it and I'll be giving updates. So if you can't make the game or if you're working, you could definitely keep I'll put updates every inning to let you guys know what's going on here. So good luck to Coach Elizondo and the Rockport-Fulton Pirates tomorrow in game one of the area round playoffs. Here in a few minutes, I've got Coach Tudy Elizondo is scheduled to join the podcast at 8:15. So definitely we'll have him want to get his thoughts on the Divine series where we heard, we talked to the boys, the offense just on fire. So definitely want to get his thoughts on the sweep. They swept the by district, and then we definitely want to get his thoughts on the upcoming series with Robstown. Now, Coach Elizondo is very familiar with Robstown baseball. He was an assistant coach out there, I believe, for some time before he got to Rockport. He's very familiar with Robstown baseball as he was out there. So he knows the talent and he knows about Robstown. So, he'll get these boys prepared and ready for the game. But I do agree with the boys. I think game one is critical for Rockport here at home. If we can get that win, it puts us in a really good position to have to win 1 out of 2. But, baseball is a funny sport, right? I've seen a lot of things happen. So just because you win or lose game one, it's the first one that wins two. So it really doesn't matter. But come on out, support the Pirates, man. They need all the support they can get. It's a lot of fun when the crowd is loud. I know when I played and I saw a crowd loud, it just took me to another level, right? Playing basketball and just looking at the fans and fans yelling for you and supporting you and everybody's, it's just the house is packed, the gym or the football field or the baseball field in this case. It always took me to another level, right? Playing just that much harder than I was going to play to begin with, right? Not wanting to let my fans down, leaving it all on the field. So we do make a difference, guys. The fans do make a difference with the loud noise and stuff. So again, I'll say, please come on out tomorrow if you can. Game time starts at 7. I think it's going to be a really good game, and the Pirates need all of the support from the Rockport-Fulton community. So please come on out, support the Pirates at the field, not on the live stream. I know someone's going to live stream it. I don't have that information, but I know, I think, and I don't know. I think somebody from Robstown, it's a radio station, and I'm not really sure. And I apologize if I don't have the name, but I don't know. I don't know if you have to pay. I'm not sure how all that works, but I know they're going to have somebody up there at the press box too that you can catch the game. So if I find out when I get up there and meet the guys, I'll definitely put it up on my post. And if you want to watch it, I'll give you all the information if you don't have it, how you can watch it if you can't make the game. But again, I'll be giving updates as well. So I'll keep you informed, but I hope we can get just as many people out there to the field. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Tomorrow night, I'll be out there early watching the boys warm up. It's gonna be a good one tomorrow. So again, Coach Elizondo will be on here in about 10 minutes. I wanted to take the time also to talk a little bit about football. I said earlier, Rockport will be playing, I believe, this Monday. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me take a look. I want to make sure I'm telling you guys correctly. All right. So yes, the first game will be at Cabness May 15th at 5:30. We'll play Ray. And then at 6:30, we'll play Cal Allen. So those are the two games. Like I said, I'll be out there on Monday. I'm not going to do any type of recording or anything like that, but I just want to go out there, kind of see what I see, come back next Wednesday, kind of let you see, kind of talk a little bit about what I saw out there in preparation for the 7-on-7. But it's always exciting. Football just around the corner. I think I'll also be getting some information when our middle school plays as well. So, like I said on our podcast on Wednesday, we'll be talking a lot. So it'll extend a little bit longer than the 45 minutes that we're accustomed to, because we're going to be talking about the freshman, junior varsity, middle school, and youth. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm not going to spend an hour talking about each one, right? But there might be, 10 to 12 to 15 minutes on each one, just depending on what we're going to say. And then we're going to have interviews. We're going to invite coaches from our middle school to come on to the Pirates Cove podcast to talk about their program. Same thing with our junior varsity and our freshman coaches, our youth as well. So as far as our coaches go, we're definitely going to be sending invites to the coaches. Now, sometimes they're busy, some come on, some don't, but we're definitely next year going to start inviting not just the head coaches, the varsity coaches, but the underclass, the coaches that are coaching the underclassmen, like the middle school. We want to get their thoughts on how the program's going, and we want them to talk about the players that they have going and what's going on at that level. There'll also be some live streaming, so you'll be able to see also what the coaches are saying. And in high school, when it comes to some of these kids as a freshman and junior varsity, definitely going to invite them onto the podcast so they can also talk about their program. So players, coaches, and we'll have coaches from our youth as well, hopefully on Wednesdays coming on. So like I said, it may extend to about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer, just trying to talk. But I think it's really important to get the exposure out there to the community, to let them see what we're doing at this level, because I've already seen it, and they do a lot. And a lot of that goes unnoticed. So we're just a small part of bringing what these guys are doing out. So definitely getting excited about the live streaming next year. It'll be a lot of work, a lot of late nights getting back home, but I think all of this is well worth it. And I'm excited about being able to do that. Like I said, once my team continues to grow, and we have people in positions to be able to live stream volleyball games, softball games, basketball games, it gets better, because then we'll be able to live stream. The goal is to live stream every game, right? To be out there, to be able to live stream every game, to have a person out there or two people that can go out there to get interviews from the coaches, post game interviews. It just makes it that much better. So we're working towards getting that. The first step is to get back out there and get to the live streams, right? And then after that, we start, kind of adding stuff, getting out there and being able to interview coaches as much as we can, as much as they'll allow us to. So a lot of stuff in the work for next year and the next couple of years. trying to continue to build what we're doing here, having a podcast, having a live stream, having interviews, talking about our players. I definitely wanted to get it done in 1 year, but I quickly found out that it takes time, and it's baby steps all the way through. And so, we're now starting to be more consistent. Hopefully we can continue to get better, because it's real important to bring all this stuff out to the community, get this exposure for our school, our coaches, the program, and the players. So I'm excited about that as well. So football coming right around the corner, Monday, 7-on-7 at Cabinets in Corpus Christi. The Rockport will take on Corpus Christi Ray at 5:30, and then they'll play Cal Allen at 6:30. And then I don't know the next Monday. They'll play again next Monday. So just definitely tune in to the Pirates Cove Facebook and Twitter page, and I'll be able to put out all that information. There is a schedule that was given to me, so if I haven't put it out there, I'll definitely put it out there tomorrow. But definitely looking forward to that as well. So, like I said, just a lot of stuff going on here. And then, of course, on Saturday, we'll be out there live streaming our youth program too. 4 divisions out there, our freshmen, our sophomore, juniors, and seniors. And so I'm really excited about getting out there on Saturday. That's a whole day. You're just out there from early morning till about 4 o'clock. Depending on when the game, sometimes last year they played early games, sometimes they play late games. So sometimes they could end late at night, but we're going to make the commitment to get out there for our youth and live stream those games. Hopefully there's not internet issues, and we can, live stream them. We did it for baseball. It's been working out great so far. And then bring those live streams to you guys, and then bring coaches on Wednesday at times from each division, like we did last year, so they can talk about their roster, their players, and the success that they had the prior year. So not sure where the coaches are going to be, but I'm excited about being able to do that for our youth football as well. And then we'll start this year when the baseball and softball seasons get into their all-stars. I'm going to get with the coaches and try to get to each game. Now I can't get to every game, but a game in baseball, then a game in softball. It just depends on how the schedule is, but I'm committing to that day to be able to go. So if they're traveling out of town, it's not too far and I can get there, I'll try to get a game here and a game there. But I'm definitely this year going to go and try to live stream some all-star games for our kids, our younger kids, our baseball and our softball. Like I said, I did it last year for softball. And it was really exciting. I really enjoyed traveling up there and got to know a lot of those younger girls. And that's how I can tell you that there's a lot of talent, because I saw it last year personally. I saw the pitching, I saw the hitting, the fielding, the base running. And I was really, really impressed with the talent that we have out there. And that's why when I come on the podcast and I talk about our softball, for example, because I saw them last year and potentially what they can do, it's really exciting because I've seen it at that level. I've seen the 8th graders, I've seen the freshmen, I've seen that talent, that group do it at that level. So it excites you when then you can come and see potentially what we have coming up in the next 3 to 4 years, and potentially how Rockport can be good for quite some time. Now we're seeing it in baseball now. I was able to stream 1 or 2 games from that middle school who has a lot of talent, bringing in Coach Elizondo, giving him an opportunity to talk about what he sees in those young guys. And potentially that's another 5 to 6 years that we're going to have this group, what these young guys are doing at this level. Our baseball team here has been successful for the last 3 years, getting into the playoffs, and losing in the first round, then coming back the second year and getting to the third round. And now here we are in the second round. If you look at all of that stuff, I keep notes, right? We're potentially getting better. And then you see the youth, right? You see what's coming up, sophomores, juniors, seniors, freshmen. You get excited about potentially what this group can do and how far they can possibly get. So it's those type of things that get you excited. We've covered soccer and we'll continue to do that. I had Coach, I just lost my train of thought. The soccer coach for the boys, I don't mean he's going to say, oh my God, I forgot his name offhand, but we've had him on, and there's a lot of talent for soccer. So we're definitely going to be um, live streaming our boys and girls soccer. We take care of that. Basketball, boys and girls, and then our volleyball and our football. So, like I said, we brought Coach Busack on. We really want to be able to shine some light on our golf program as well. So we had him on today. We hope to have him on again after the tournament, and then next year continue to follow up with him and hopefully get some of the our golf athletes to come out to the Pirates Cove podcast, talk a little bit about their program and the success that they're having. We want to go ahead and extend that over to tennis as well, powerlifting. We've done that. Want to get back to doing that. So it's all Rockport for the sports. But in order to do that, the team's got to grow a little bit. We've got to grow. We've got to be able to put people in positions to be able to live stream those games and then bring them onto the podcast. Getting a little bit of water there. And so, like I said, it'll be a lot of fun. So a lot of stuff that you heard here that I'm talking about that we want to do. I've been talking to some people. They're willing to come out and help. So, like I said, it's small steps, but just trying to get out there to live stream more games, to make the podcast more interesting, to bring in other coaches is something that I really feel good and put a lot of thought into how we're going to do it and the growth that we could potentially have every year. I love Rockport sports, and I've supported Rockport sports even when I graduated. I've always been a supporter, and I'd love to see the success. I mean, I'm from Rockport, right? I graduated from here, so I'll always, as long as I can support the Pirates, I'll definitely support the Pirates. And I love seeing young talent. I love seeing the talent get from high school and play at the next level. In the last 2 or 3 years that we've been doing this podcast, I've seen a lot of guys and male athletes and female athletes here from Rockport being able to play the sport that they love and go to the next level. We've seen that in softball. Uh, we've seen that in football. That I know offhand. Powerlifting. We had a girl that just signed to go to the powerlifting, I believe, at the next level. We'll talk a little bit about that here at the end of the podcast, but it's always exciting. That's what excites me is the hard work pays off. You want to win every game. When I played, I played to win. I never played for fun. I put in the time in basketball. I wanted to win when I went on the court to compete against any other team. Now we won some and we lost some, but I always wanted to be competitive and win games. I always played to win. If I lost, I knew how to still give good sportsmanship, and that's what's important here for our kids. Is you hear a lot of coaches come on and they talk about winning, and that's the objective, right? Want to win, but they're also teaching them how to be good men. There's always something you can learn when you get disciplined, or there's teamwork. There's things that we can learn, and I learned a lot from sports. It taught me a lot, so I know it can teach our athletes here to be better men, better women, young women, and our coaches are the one thing that I like to talk a lot about and invite them to come on and talk about the program, because a lot of coaches aren't going to take credit when things are good. They'll take the blame, and you'll hear coaches say, "Hey, bad on me, man. We lost. It's my bad." But if we win, you rarely hear a coach say, "Hey, it's because of me that we won." They just don't say that. They're never going to give themselves the credit that they deserve themselves. And so I do that for them here. When I watch games and I watch softball or I watch soccer or I watch any sport here, I look at the coaches, I look at the way they coach, a lot of our coaches, they're coaching and they don't always get the credit for what they do. And coaches aren't never going to come on this podcast and give themselves the credit. They just don't do that. So I decided I'll do that for them based on what I see and the success that they're having. And that's why I want to invite more coaches on and give them an opportunity to be able to talk about their players. Because nobody really knows these players better than the coach. They see the grind every day. I'm not out there every day watching. I'm only seeing when they play the game, right? these coaches see when they play injured, they see when they're playing with pain. And that's why I want to bring them on, to be able to shine some light on those kids and the work that they put. I think it's always important to be able to put that time in. So give me just a second. Okay. So Coach Julia Elizondo should be on here in just a minute, I hope. So again, we're going to give the coaches props here on the podcast when we get an opportunity all the time. Because like I said, they're not going to give it to themselves. And we've got some great coaches here. And they deserve the credit. And here on the Pirates Cove, when we talk about their program, we're going to give credit where credit's due. And we want to talk a lot about our coaches, the success that they're having here. So you're going to see next year more coaches coming on. Hopefully, the invites are definitely going to go out. I can't guarantee that the coaches are going to say yes and come in. The coaches are busy during the season. We try to keep it kind of short with them, about maybe 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes we get into conversations and they go longer, but definitely, we definitely want to try to get to every coach and give them the opportunity during the season if they want to come on and talk a little bit about their program, their players, their roster. So you're going to see that. Like I said, that's going to be something that's going to be a little different than the live streams as well. So what happened to me here is first time, right? I thought I had sent out the meeting because usually I copy and paste and send it off to people, right? So I don't think I had done that for Coach Elizondo. So I just sent him the text information. I know I talked to him earlier. I know he was coming on, but they were in Ingleside. So hopefully I'm going to give Coach an opportunity to jump on here in just a minute. I'll give him a few minutes. It was my fault. I was a little late sending him out the meeting ID, the meeting information. So hopefully he'll get it here and he'll come on. But again, it's a busy time for the coaches and they try to make it and come on, but sometimes it's a little difficult. They're getting ready, getting prepared for a big game tomorrow. So we'll give him a few minutes, see if he can come on and talk a little bit of baseball. Just kind of want to get his thoughts on the Divine game. I hadn't had a chance to talk to him after the game. I kind of decided I wanted to wait until Wednesday to bring him on. And we're going to bring on some of his baseball players. So I thought that'd be a great opportunity after his players, to bring him on. Real quick time, maybe about 10 minutes, just going to talk to him about his thoughts on the Divine game. And then also get his thoughts on this upcoming game with Robstown. Important to get his thoughts. But, again, sometimes they're busy. They lose track of time. So we'll give Coach Elizondo a few minutes here. If he comes on, that'd be great. If he doesn't come on, I definitely understand. We'll try to get him on another time. Coaches are busy and they got a lot to do. And I know I'm not at the top of the list. So they get caught in other stuff as well. But hopefully he'll come on. We'll give him about another 5 minutes, see if he comes on. But again, please come out tomorrow to the game. It's going to be a great game. I think you heard the boys here. They're ready. Game one is important. They want to come out. They want to get a win, not only in game one, but it's a home game too. And they know the importance of beating a team like Robstown in game one. And then putting themselves in the driver's seat, right? Sort of say, okay, we're going to come back and now we just got to win 1 out of 2, wherever that's at. And the pressure is not off of you, but definitely you got some leeway. If you lose game one, you got to go over there. You got to win 2 out of 3. Sometimes that's a little difficult. So an important game tomorrow for Rockport, and especially being here at home the boys definitely want to put on a good performance, and they want to get that win, and then put themselves in the driver's seat to be able just to win one out of the next two. Put that pressure on Robstown if they lose, right? They have to win two out of two. So, good game. Please come out tomorrow. Support the Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball team. It's a home game. Excited. Hopefully, I'll see a lot of people out there. Hopefully, it'll be a big crowd, and everything will work, and we'll get the win. But I think it's gonna be a good baseball game. I love to watch a good baseball game. I definitely want the Pirates to win. Usually I go watch two teams play, and if it's not Rockport, I just love watching the game go back and forth. So I have, I want to see my Pirates win, so I get a little excited when my team's playing. But I just love baseball. I love watching it, and I think tomorrow it's going to be a really good game between two good teams. Pirates, getting into the playoffs, into the second round. Offense exploded against Divine, and I don't know how Coach Elizondo will use his pitchers. I know how he used the boys in game 1 and 2, the first series. Don't know if he'll keep it like that. Don't know if he'll change it around and possibly go a different route. But we'll see tomorrow. I never ask Coach. I just kind of wait till he gives me the roster, and then that's when I know who's going to be pitching. But the pitching, obviously, there's a senior, Kyle Novak, pitched really well, I thought, against Divine in game 2. Sean Howe, like I said on my podcast after the game, the recap podcast, which was, I've seen Sean pitch great, man, and when he's on, he's lights out. Didn't have his A game in game 1 against Divine, but he was good enough to get the outs when he needed to. And that's the one thing about Sean is when he needs to get that out, he gets that out, right? A strikeout or whatever he needs to do. So I think confidence builds when you see him. He doesn't get rattled, it seems like, when there's bases loaded, one out. He just continues. Sometimes it looks like he just gets stronger when he's in those positions, right? But nevertheless, two good pitchers, a 1-1, 1A, 1B, or however you want to say it, right, that Coach Elizondo has. And then he's got younger guys that you've seen pitch. We had one of them on the podcast today, and the freshman, Chris Oakman, who has been put in positions like that. So he's more than capable of going out there if need be, and possibly, getting put in a situation. Coach Elizondo has all the confidence in the world with this kid to getting him out there and pitching. Case Patterson, we saw him come in here lately. He's been pitching a lot more than just one inning. He's a guy that can come in and give Coach Elizondo 1, 2 innings, 3 innings if need be. He's also, Coach Elizondo's also talked about his son, Isaiah Elizondo, who can come in and throw strikes for him if need be for an inning or two. So there are pitchers that he can use at different times, depending on the situation, to be able to come out and do some things for him. So we're in good shape with our 2 starters and then some guys that can come in and give Coach Elizondo some good innings if need be. So that's why I think it's going to be a really good game. I think our pitching is very competitive, and if we're on, we can compete with anybody, I think. Offensively is where it's at for me. If these guys continue to hit the way they hit against Divine, there's a very good chance we'll win the game. That's crucial for us. And I've said that throughout the season. Offense, when Rockport scores the way they've been scoring, Devin Phillips has been very hot as of late. Jordy Gibson, the leadoff hitter, has been very good as of late. You also, and then you got the middle of the lineup. We got Sean Howe, you got Grubert, you got Smith, you got these guys. We saw something different. Dawson Phillips, big time against Divine. We'll see if Coach how he'll utilize Dawson Phillips. Played very good against Divine. So when I talk about young guys, they're young in age, but not in the way that they play. So when we say young, it's not so much at this time of year that we're talking more about age, but they don't play like their age. They play way above. And then when you add that leadership that the Pirates have with Devin Phillips and an Isaiah Elizondo and a Jordy Gibson and a Kyle Novak, the captain, it blends in well. And these guys have done a great job of being a team. and supporting each other. And it just shows the success that they're having on the field, right? We have gotten better as the season has toward the end of the season into the first round of the playoffs. Will that carry on to game two, to round two? I'm sorry, game one. We'll see. I'm not sure. I think Coach Elizondo, I know he knew, and we want him to come on, but I have not gotten a response back. Like I said, coaches get really, really busy. There's a lot of stuff going on for the coach. He's got a lot of stuff to do and last minute preparations before the big game tomorrow. So we couldn't get him on, but I definitely understand that. I understand he's busy, but we tried. Hopefully, after these series, we can get him back on and get his thoughts on the round. And we'll try to do that and get him on one more time, however the series plays out, and just kind of get his thoughts on the way his team performed in the playoffs. So again, thank you very much for tuning in to the podcast. I really appreciate. Hopefully, you guys, like I said, if you love the podcast, definitely share it. Become a subscriber to the Pirates Cove YouTube channel, but definitely share this on your timeline. Let other people see what we're doing. This is the first time that was a little different. So we'll continue to get better, but the podcasts are going to be a little bit longer now. We'll have maybe 2 or 3 interviews in the mix as well. So it's going to take us some time to put it all together. But this is the first time I've done that, but it's going to be this way because we want to be able to talk about just not our varsity programs, but our underclassmen, as I've talked about, and other sports as well. So it will get better. We'll organize a little bit better. Tonight was the first night, but this is kind of going to be something of what we're going to be doing. The podcast will be a little bit different, but we're going to be able to cover more stuff. So again, thank you very much for joining the podcast. I hope to see everybody out at Pirate Stadium tomorrow night for game one of the area round baseball playoffs between the Rossstown Pickers will be in town to play your Rockport-Fulton Pirates. Game time starts at 7 p.m. Please come on out, show your support for the Rockport-Fulton Pirates. See you guys tomorrow at 7. Game time starts at that time. And I'll come back on after the game. I'll come back up and do a real quick recap. I said I was going to do that regardless if we win or we don't win, right? So I want to come out. So definitely be expecting that. It'll be a real quick, probably 7 to 10, maybe 12 minutes. It's just a little recap of the game. So even if Rockport wins or loses, something I'm going to continue to do after every game, just a little short recap to kind of give my thoughts, talk a little bit about the game, just kind of give my thoughts on what I saw and what I think. So again, everything that I say, it doesn't come from any coach. It doesn't come from players. This is just as from a fan's point of view. Coaches don't give me any information that I put out here. All of this is just what my eyes see. I talk about it. I love to break it down. And then I just kind of give my opinion. So if you disagree with me, hey, we're more than, I'd love to have debates or have dialogue, have a talk with anybody. But again, this is all that I do is just from a fan's point of view. I don't disrespect any players or coaches, but I just give my opinion on what I see. I critique the game, right? So that's all I do. So I want to come on after that and be able to do that. So after tomorrow's game one, I'll definitely come out, get on, turn on the camera and just talk a little bit about the game. I probably won't upload it until the next day in possibly in the afternoon, maybe around after about maybe 1 or 2, because it'll be kind of late. I'll come in there and then I got to get to work in the morning. So, but you'll see it the next day, possibly sometime after lunch. I'll upload it and you guys can see it. But I'll definitely come on after every game and just kind of give my thoughts on the game, win or lose. So good luck to Coach Elizondo, the Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball team. I'll definitely be out there tomorrow, and we'll see you guys tomorrow after game one. Please come out tomorrow. Support your Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball. Good night. Thank you. I had a great time. And like I said, if you like it, please share the podcast and definitely become a subscriber to the Pirates Cove YouTube channel. Good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow.